Quick little disclaimer too. I'm not going to be using any clips from The Accountant 2 because apparently Lionsgate, I believe, are copyright claiming everybody. So I'll put up screenshots when I'm talking about specific things, but I ain't using no clips because I am not trying to get copyright striked. So yeah, enjoy the review. Peace. The Accountant 2. So The Accountant 2, I went to go see this last weekend with my mom for her birthday. And it was a little bit of a delightful surprise that it was even coming out, because the first one came out about 8 years ago. And I didn't think it not that it didn't warrant a sequel, but I didn't know whether or not they were going to make a sequel because it's been 8 years. Didn't even think about it. So when I saw the trailer a couple months back, I was super surprised, delightfully, because I did like the first movie a lot. I thought the first movie was pretty good. I liked the concept, acting, the story was really good. Ben Affleck, his character here is very awkward, very weird, but silent killer professional at the same time. So I like the contrast between those two kind of characteristics. But I was super surprised to see that it was even going to get a sequel. So I saw the trailer, was excited to see what this movie had to offer. And like I said, saw it this past weekend. And I'm going to start with the acting here. So Ben Affleck jumps right back into the role seamlessly, doesn't even miss a step. So this movie is basically about the accountant gets called in because there is a murder. A certain character gets murdered from the first film, and a federal agent calls in the accountant for a little bit of additional assistance to try and solve this murder, because there's too many pieces at play for the regular human mind to solve. So they call in on the accountant, and the murder mystery kind of ensues. And in the midst of this murder mystery, the accountant calls on his brother as well. So it's like a little kind of ragtag group. The accountant, his brother, and this federal agent all come together to try and solve this murder, see where the missing links are, trying to fill in the gaps to kind of get down to the bigger overall narrative as to why this character was murdered. I thought that the story, for story's sake, was serviceable. Not bad, but nothing phenomenal, nothing out of this world, nothing you haven't seen before. A couple characters get together, try and solve a murder. We've seen that many times before, but it's the characters. So you're not coming to see this movie for the story specifically. You're coming to see this movie for the characters, their interactions, and how they kind of go throughout the film and build their relationships. This is a brother movie at the end of the day, a la to Warrior in a way. Same director too. Gavin O'Connor directed Warrior initially. Fantastic movie. If you haven't seen it, it's an MMA movie revolving around a fractured relationship between two brothers, and they kind of have to try and rebuild that relationship using the outlet of MMA. It's kind of the best way I can put that together. A lot more to that story than here, but Gavin O'Connor does a really good job with making stories about brothers. Here, the chemistry between Ben Affleck and Jon Bernthal is phenomenal. The way they just bounce off of each other, their chemistry with one another, their camaraderie, their flow. One brother is autistic, so that kind of puts a strain on the relationship, not in a negative way, but it's kind of funny that Jon Bernthal's character feels a little like the black sheep of the relationship, because he cannot connect to Ben Affleck, because Ben Affleck his character doesn't have the ability to connect like we do. So seeing them work through that and seeing them kind of play that out was awesome. Another thing that's very different from this movie compared to the first is comedy. This movie is an action comedy at the end of the day. There's a lot more comedic elements put in here. Ben Affleck's character has a lot more to do comedy-wise, and kind of turns up the awkwardness a little bit, and they play off of that a little more here, and I thought that was a step in the right direction. It's not super serious all the time. There are moments of levity with Ben Affleck's character. Although there is action, they sprinkle in comedy in there, and it keeps it lighthearted, keeps it fun. I would say The Accountant 2 is just pure fun. Ben Affleck kills his role as Christian Wolf again, but the guy who steals the show here is Jon Bernthal. Jon Bernthal steals the show in every scene that he's in. He's either got you laughing, you feel endearing. He has so much endearing quality about him. He's hilarious. He's emotional. He's relatable. Like I said, the strain on the relationship. He's questioning constantly. Am I the problem? Do you not want to speak to me because of me or because of your condition? Which I think is a good twist on that kind of relationship. You would think it'd be one way, but it's actually more in his favor, that he feels those emotions. So you see him battle with that, but it's about brotherhood at the end of the day. Two brothers trying to figure out a way to get closer to each other in the midst of the grand story there. I thought Jon Bernthal killed it, man. And Ben Affleck. They both proved to continue to be one of the great actors in Hollywood. I mean, it feels like they can't miss any role that they're in. They pretty much knock out of the park. And here is no different. Ben Affleck was fantastic. Jon Bernthal steals the show. The federal agent was serviceable. She was good for her role. She's usually in those kinds of roles. And she shows up and delivers her performance as well. Nothing crazy, nothing too fleshed out, but their interaction with one another, her being a federal agent, working with two criminals essentially, they play off of that very well as well. There's another element in this movie. There's a story element here with an additional character, an assassin esque character that I wish they would have showed more of. I wish they would have fleshed that piece of the story out more, because it's integral to the plot, but it feels like a side story at the same time. When this character shows up on screen, they have presence. Their action scenes are fantastic. They do feel like a key player in the story, but they're kind of kept and relegated to the shadows for most of the film, and they pop up in spurts. I wish they would have fleshed out and delivered there a little more. There is a little more to that character story-wise, which you will get revealed when you watch the movie. I'm not going to spoil it here, but there is a little bit of a twist there that halfway works and halfway doesn't. Like, I see what they were going for, but it's kind of just, it felt more... I don't know. It wasn't too impactful. I feel like you could have removed that and it wouldn't have made too much of a difference. I'm assuming that they're going to flesh that out. If they're going to make a third one, they'll probably introduce that in the third movie, I believe. If not, then it feels like a little bit of a waste of a character and just kind of a cool character that wasn't fully fleshed out and fully kind of... executed to the ability that they wanted to. But all in all, I did like the addition of that character and kind of what they did have. I liked, so I just wanted to see more of that. But I'm gonna keep this review pretty short and quick. The Accountant 2 it's continuing to prove that 2025 is a good year for film. I feel like 2025 has really delivered these last couple months. Warfare, I still got to see Magazine Dreams, which was requested, so I'm going to try that next. But, Warfare, perfect film, in my personal opinion. And then Sinners, I gave a 4 out of 5 stars. And The Accountant 2, I'm going to give the same score, 4 out of 5 stars for The Accountant 2. Not based on story, but based on acting, execution of acting, and just my overall experience at the theater. Everyone was dying of laughter in the theater. It just felt like a fun film. It felt like a summer movie. It felt like finally just a really good time in the movie theaters. Watching a movie that, it's not Inception levels of greatness, but it doesn't have to be. It knows what it is, and it enjoys being what it is. It's fun. It's funny. It has action. The acting is good on all fronts. There's not a single weak link there, minus a little bit in terms of that little story element that I wanted to flesh out a little more. But besides that, 4 out of 5 stars for The Accountant 2. I highly recommend you go see this in theaters. If you've already watched The Accountant 2, let me know in the comments down below. Did you like it? Did you not like it? And are you willing to see more? Do you want to see more of this world that they're building? Do you want to see more of these characters? If so, let me know in the comments down below. If you liked the video, smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. It's free. And you already know, as always, I love you. Jesus Christ loves you. God bless you all. Peace.